Hello, grade 6. You are taking the Social Studies Test A, World Geography Test. Please make sure you have your first and last name in your best print handwriting. Today's date can be found under the schedule up on the front of the board. And your section is whatever homeroom you're sitting in taking this test. For most of you, it's your homeroom, but for some of you, it's not, which is why you always want to list the section. It says, name the continents and oceans shown by each letter on the map. So here you have the map. Here is the letter on the line. So you're going to look at the continent on letter A and write the name of that continent here on the line. Please do that for every letter. They are either a continent or an ocean. Once you have that, please exchange your regular pencil for your red pencil. It says, on the map, identify and label the following using red pencil. So please identify and label the prime meridian. Make sure you write its name and label in degrees using your red pencil. And then do the same with the equator, its name and label in degrees. Once you have that written here on the map in red pencil, keep your red pencil in your hand. On the compass rose, label the following correctly, all the cardinal directions in red pencil. So over here on the compass rose, please label the cardinal directions carefully. Then put down your red pencil. You'll never pick it up again. Keep your regular pencil in your hand and please label all the intermediate directions or intercardinal directions on the compass rose correctly. For the rest of the test, you will keep your regular pencil in your hand. The directions for true and false state, write a capital T if the statement is true and a capital F if the statement is false. I'm going to read each statement now. If you don't want the test read to you, you can pause this video, you can read them and do them yourself, and then you can restart it for the next set of directions. Lines of latitude run north to south on a map or globe. Students are to use quiet voices while in the cafeteria. The world has 24 time zones equaling 1 hour every hour of the day. Planet Earth is divided into 2 hemispheres. Geography contributes to the study of history. The prime meridian divides the Earth into the eastern and western hemispheres. Head apparel, except for religious or medical purposes, may not be worn inside the school building. The title is the last thing you should look at when reading a map. Students need to sit quietly, facing backward on a school bus. Students may have a cell phone turned on and in the desk during the school day. Asia is located in the northern and eastern hemispheres. Make sure you double check this section before you move on. Make sure you have used capital letters to show either a capital T or a capital F. And make sure your handwriting is legible. That means I can tell the difference between your capital T and your capital F. Once you have double checked this section, you can move on. Use the map below to correctly answer the question. Here you should see a map of Florida. Using the map, please answer the questions below. Again, if you don't want the questions read to you, pause and answer them at your pace. A key is also known as a what? What body of water is east of Florida on the map? What does the dotted line on the map represent? What is the state capital of Florida? To get from the capital of Florida to Orlando, what direction would you travel? From Tallahassee to Georgia, what direction would you travel? From Jacksonville to Tallahassee, what direction would you travel? From Clearwater to Orlando, what direction would you travel? Let's move on to the time zone section. The directions say, use the map below and what you learned about time zones to correctly answer the questions. How many time zones are in the entire United States? In which time zone is Texas? In which time zone is the state of Oregon? In which time zone is the state of New York? If it is 5 p.m. in New Jersey, what time is it in Nevada? Don't forget in your answer, you also must list the time zone. If it is 6 a.m. in Utah, what time is it in Louisiana? Again, make sure you have the answer written correctly with the time zone. If kickoff for the Super Bowl is at 7 p.m. in Arizona, what time could we kick off in Pennsylvania? And finally, would it be considerate to call your grandma who lives in California at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Explain why or why not, and be sure to include the time in your response. You're earning 1 point for the time and 1 point for the explanation. Again, hopefully you paused and started. If you need to, please go back. Never turn in your work that you haven't double-checked. Make sure that you are doing your best work, and when you are ready, you are going to put it in the turn-in bin and check off your name.